Welcome into the first edition of the Rover Sports and Davy Longhorns 2020 football podcast, football show here on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube. We also do these on Apple Podcast. And Dave, we just got done watching a little Thursday night game, and I was very entertained by it. Browns and the Bengals. What did you think of the game?
I thought the game was for the game it was pretty good. I mean, it needs to get louder.
Yeah, a little bit louder.
Okay, let's see if we get louder.
Think we can make it louder? We got Davey. We're trying to work out some stuff here.
This loud.
Oh yeah, that's perfect. You're perfect. You're perfect.
No?
Now I got you.
Okay. Well, for the game, I thought, for two relatively bad teams, it was an exciting game. I mean, the Browns kind of dominated start to finish. I mean, what did you see? The Bengals, Bengals got a couple garbage touchdowns, a little low pressure, low situation, touchdowns, and then the Browns answered back with a quick score, and then the Bengals added another. But for the most part, it was a good game. I thought Baker Mayfield took some positive steps comparatively to where he has been taking, it seems like, only backward steps. So, he was good. One interception. Okay, whatever, you make a mistake.
Yeah.
Just kind of move on.
Yeah, and the Browns, they got the Redskins or Washington, the Redskins next week in Cleveland. And for Joe Burrow, I kept watching the game and I kept going, I was with a guy who, has him in fantasy. And I kept going, back and forth with my opinions on Joe between this guy doesn't have a ton of arm strength and my doubts about Burrow. But at the same time, he kind of showed poise. So what did you think of his performance?
Tough performance to evaluate, to really be honest with you, because when the team kind of needed it, he really wasn't there all night. I mean, he kind of make plays, but they didn't really do much until the end of the game, where they got a couple of penalty elongated, with the first touchdown that they scored late, and then this last one was just absolute garbage touchdown. So
of course, and the face mask.
The face mask and things like that. I mean, I don't think Burrow played bad, but I think the numbers will be much friendlier. And, you're going to get some people tomorrow who are just going to be like, look at Burrow in the second game, 3 touchdowns, over 300, no interceptions, all that. And it wasn't close to anything like that,
No, he's throwing 5-yard passes. That's the thing about Joe. He is he's trying to be the Tom Brady model of the short passing game. That's what he's trying to be. So who would you compare him to? Alex Smith, a little Pennington, a little Darnold? Who's a short, efficient passer? Who do you think it is?
I think right now Alex Smith is actually a very fair comparison. I mean, I think it's actually an extremely fair comparison. I mean, they both run the ball, when needed, and they're not going to beat you with too much arm strength. And last week, that was the demise of him when the coverages don't get ultra soft at the end of the games. He basically couldn't move the ball. And last week, he was about to go in for the game-tying field goal or touchdown until the coverage gets ultra soft. And
he's good when it's ultra soft.
I mean, I think the one thing that you might actually see teams start doing when you start reviewing this game film and things like that is, I don't know who we got there, but it's YB and prevent defense against him. Just press the line and see what happens.
Force him to go over the top. Force him to beat you.
Yeah, he's got to beat you in some way, shape, or form.
Because he can throw those checkdowns all day. But I think that the hype doesn't help. If he was a 3rd-round pick, he'd be very good, very good value. But the hype is just absolutely insane. But the good news is, putting a bow on this game, is that Kareem Hunt got going, Nick Chubb got going, Stefanski, they got the Redskins. If they could run the ball like this, their defense looked awful. If they could,
Spencer.
What?
They ran the ball like this last week too. They just stopped running the ball.
He just called some terrible plays. Well, Lamar Jackson was also unstoppable.
Last week,
their defense sucked last week.
Yeah, but wait. Baker Mayfield did not help him last week. Look at the running game last week. I think Chubb was 13 for 72 or 62. One of them was 10 for 50. the running game was going well over 6.5, 5.5 a clip last week. So
Are these linemen that good in Cleveland?
I don't know, but you got two very good running backs, and basically Baker just has to play out the play action and make good decisions from there. And tonight he showed the ability to do it.
Yeah, he made the throw to Odell, and he's got live arm. I mean, if you had a throw off between Baker and Joe, Baker's winning every time. So you just get enamored. But at least Baker, and then Baker started to have some fun tonight. And this team's got to start winning. Those receivers are weird guys, They just are. They have one is yellow hair, one is purple hair. And for Baker, it's going to be an interesting time, with Jarvis and Odell Beckham.
No, it definitely will be, but at the same time, it's like those are two very talented guys. You got Hooper, who is very talented. The run game is very
Looks
talented.
like Hunter Bryant's taking that guy's job.
Yeah, well, yeah, whatever you want to say, but either way, there's a lot of talent all around Baker. It doesn't seem to be much of an excuse other than Baker's got to figure out a way to make it work.
I like this coach. I love them going for it in these. They went for it. They did have some red zone problems, but they did go for it. In Cleveland, with all these wild card teams, maybe they get into the postseason. So now let's talk about some other storylines from week one. I think Aaron Rodgers could be like an MVP guy. I think that's one of my big takeaways from week one is this dude just looks like he's out for vengeance when a lot of people had differing thoughts on Aaron Rodgers.
Well, it seems Aaron Rodgers seems to always be that guy that whenever he's healthy, he's every year in the mix of the MVP talk. Now, does he stay fully healthy? Does the calf give him problems? It seems to always each year on a random run to the sideline, you see the Aaron Rodgers pulls up lane with the calf and all that good stuff. But
yeah,
if he's healthy, he's always in the MVP talk. I think it's just been recently he just cannot stay healthy in any way, shape, or form.
But they're finally airing the ball. He's finally taking risks with the ball, at least. His average air yards is up.
I think that's a sign of him being healthy too. I mean,
yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, he looks finally healthy. Like he's moving well in the pocket. And now it looks like Green Bay, you would say that with Minnesota looking very far gone, do you think that Green Bay now is the clear cut again in the NFC North right now?
I mean, obviously Green Bay hasn't won the division every year, but hasn't it seemed like since, let's just call it like it is, since Brett Favre has been there, for most years, the North runs through Green Bay, and you can have a few years here and there, but the Packers are the team of the division, and until proven otherwise, really the North still will always run through Green Bay. The Vikings are better a year in, year out, but yeah.
It's something like, what? We sometimes make fun. People make fun of the Giants, but I really think the Detroit Lions are just the worst. They might just be the worst. There's never been happy times for Lions fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's you have the one random year with Megatron and all that good stuff, but I mean, come on.
No playoff win, not even close. Well, the 1 year was 14-13. That's a game Romo should have won, in that playoff run. Mm-hmm. Or the Cowboys. So what we're going to do here, Dave, is we're going to look at the games, some NFL games coming up this week. And wow, this line just shocks me. So you want to go through our picks and kind of talk about these games here?
Okay,
for week one, because for college football, I know that Southern Miss has another football coach. Did you hear about that? 30-year-old coach?
I'm not going to lie to you. I have not been paying attention to college football. It's just so the media coverage is not great, and I haven't been looking for it.
Right on. So the first game is Cowboys-Falcons. I'm surprised it's a 4.5-point line. I mean, the Cowboys should be up a touchdown favorite against this Falcons team.
Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up here.
So you know that I'm not faking the numbers, right?
No. I just want to be able to pull up 4-point line. I think, yeah. I mean, I think if when you think about it, maybe that they're expecting with the weak defense for the Cowboys is to be obviously with a 54 over under. It's just kind of maybe the question: can the Cowboys even get stops?
And Matt Ryan put up 450 last week.
Matt Ryan always, Matt Ryan might be the consummate Joe Burrow. Like whenever they're down a ton of points, he's just gonna he's made a career of garbage time yards. And I mean, he's had seasons where he's done it with winning teams, but in blowouts, he's the best.
He's like Phil Rivers, right? He's a good fantasy quarterback, and
He's the
people
best in garbage time.
people love Matt Ryan, and now no one talks about him, so now people have to talk about him. But Atlanta's a flat out mess. The Cowboys are probably going to win that game, and then you have Miami and Buffalo. Tua Tagovailoa. I'm not sure they need to update us on Tua's status.
I don't think he's playing anytime soon.
So the Bills look pretty good.
The Bills look very good. One thing I will say is that Miami is always a historically tough place to play just based on the heat. Forget the partying or anything like that. Just like I think teams struggle with the heat. The 1 p.m. kickoff is something that they always request. They don't like playing at the 4 p.m. slot because 1 p.m. you get the sun right over their head.
Interesting.
90 degrees at kick. Probably get up to about 92, 93 during the game. I expect the Bills to win either way, but it is a dynamic that definitely plays a factor into conditioning early in the season.
I just thought that the Dolphins just never liked because they could just never have any intrigue.
No. It's a request that basically this is their biggest home field advantage.
When you were a season ticket holder for the Dolphins, what's that exclusive fan club like?
There is no fan club. It's just a bunch of people who are trying to figure out by the end of the first quarter, start of the second, when they're going to leave the game. It's so hot.
Yeah, some gambling, right?
No, it's nothing to do with that. It is so hot. It's ridiculous.
Go to Gulfstream. Go to Gulfstream. So here we go. How about this game? We got a couple good ones. We got Carolina, Tampa Bay. And Carolina, you look at the Giants, and they can't put up any points, but Joe Brady comes in there with Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, what did you think of Teddy last week?
Teddy efficient, how I'm rolling in the pocket. I mean, obviously, you have the best running back in all football, McCaffrey. Robbie Anderson looked like a stud, I thought I thought the not Tampa Bay, the Panthers looked very good. I think kind of what bit them is what Matt Rule addressed in the draft is they have no defense yet, and I'm not saying that this is going to be like this unbelievably great offense, but hey, the offense was very good last week. Just defense is going to have a hard time getting stops. I think 8.5 points is a ton to be giving up if you're a Tampa team that, once again, didn't start getting going until garbage time with the offense. And, Joe Brady team that looks more than capable of scoring,
I think the public is all over the Bucs here in the bounce back for Tom Brady.
Yeah, but I'll put it this way: 8.5 is that number, and I can break it down to in obvious terms. But hey, you're up 14 at 14 with 3 minutes to go, and the other team's got the ball. Guess what? That ball's probably going in for a touchdown in the NFL,
just like tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Also, well, in college football, I remember this is a very random point, but there was one game where South Carolina beat Vandy on a Thursday night. You ever remember that game? It was, that Connor Orth kid was playing quarterback, for South Carolina.
Connor Rolfe?
Orth.
Connor Rush?
Orth. O-R-T-H. Perry Orth, maybe. Perry Orth.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, you remember Perry. Yeah, of course you remember
myself the Connor Rush or whatever the guy's name was.
Cooper
Rush, whatever his name, yeah.
But anyway, and then they went to Mississippi State, and I'm thinking, the Mississippi State just lost in week 1 to like Massachusetts. I'm taking South Carolina, but then, on the road, sometimes the cream rises to the top in a crazy way, at least in college football, and you'll get like a blowout. But, I don't feel comfortable at all, like putting the Bucs like in really anything. I think Carolina, like maybe they have an opportunity, but I'm liking what Joe Brady's doing. I think he's going to be a head coach very soon in this NFL.
I would agree. I mean, I think we had this discussion last year a lot. Talking about would he be a head coach in college, and from a lot of things you had read, that never seemed like that was going to be a great fit. But in the NFL, I think he could definitely be a good head coach. I think it's an easier fit because I don't think he's a recruiter. I think he just loves football. He wants to be there in the film room, and just that seems like it could be a good fit.
Could be a good fit unless he just loves being upstairs. So this is a question I have for you, Dave, is if you're an Eagles fan, I mean, how do you fix Carson Wentz? Do you think he's just a talent problem, or is he just other problems, Carson Wentz?
I don't know if Carson Wentz is fixable at this point. Because you can break down a lot of things, but the one thing that Carson Wentz doesn't seem to do is trust his line, and that's for good reason. So I think it's a two-pronged question. Even when he has time, he's rolling out and like trying to extend plays and things like that. And then there's a lot of times he doesn't have time. I think he might just be broken mentally right now.
Because of Nick Foles, or just because he's broken?
I think it has nothing to do with Nick Foles. I think he might mentally be broken.
I think it's the city of Philadelphia that breaks people.
I'm not saying he's not going to have good games here and there. Just, I used to be a big Wentz guy, but at this point, I'm kind of out on him a little bit.
You're out on him. So if you want Goff or you want Wentz?
Oh, I would have taken Wentz every day of the week.
Goff just doesn't have a lot of talent.
I'm talking about back even in the draft. That's what I mean. Goff. I'll put it this way: I'm still taking Wentz. I mean, I'm not saying that Goff is terrible. I'll still take Wentz, and if I need the quarterback to win a game, I think Wentz would be better with the Rams than Goff is with the Rams. But
yeah, and I would take Wentz over Dak Prescott.
Maybe in a few years, if maybe in a year, if the line gets better, you get a little better skill position play. You could be right back to where he was, but right now.
Yeah, and you know what it is? He loves running the ball. He's always been a running back since high school. Yep. So the fact that he's afraid to run, it's just killing him.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
It's the injury problems. So as we go down this list, we have the Rams Eagles. I think that's a tough game though to bet on Rams Eagles. It's a little scary, I
wouldn't touch that with 100 football.
Right. How about this game, Dave? Do you think that the Broncos can compete with the
Broncos? I think
Steelers?
The Broncos cover the 7.5.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think the Broncos cover that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
You think their defense or Jerry Jeudy might have a huge week this week?
I went back and I didn't go back and watch. I just happened to be watching the game on replay, NFL replay, whatever.
The Giants or the Broncos?
The Broncos-Titans game. And I was watching it this morning at about like 2 a.m. or whatever it was. I couldn't sleep.
That's a good problem.
I was a lot more impressed with Drew Lock than I realized, than I have been in the past. So I've been critical of him with you, but, some of the throws that were being made, I thought Jeudy dropped a few balls. Tim Patrick on a deep ball stopped running that looked like it could have been caught, I'm going to say that Drew Lock has a chance, has a real good chance. And he's, I've kind of been out on him, but, maybe being able to watch a little more, he's got a real chance. So I think, I know you might not agree with this. I think he's being put in very good situations by the coordinator. I think the head coach is a problem. I think he's a very conservative guy,
Yes.
But, I think that I think Drew Lock can do enough to keep this game close.
This is the game too where Mahomes had his jump, if you remember.
Yeah.
The 6 TD game. I love Lock too. The reason I love Lock is because you remember the game against Jacob Eason where Drew Lock was throwing to Jamon Moore. What?
I don't care about some random game 3 years ago.
But he's such a good. He's always had such amazing ability.
I have to point to something he's done. He's started now 7 games in the NFL. I have to point to something in the NFL. I don't care about some random game 2 years, his junior year in college when he played his senior year, where it was
actually his sophomore year. He's so Dave. He's looked real. So he looks like he's protecting the ball, like kind of just operating the NFL game. Is that what you like about Locke?
I thought he was protecting the ball well. I thought he made some good throws. I thought, the receivers let him down a little bit.
Guess what? The Broncos didn't have the ball enough. Tennessee just dominated time of possession.
Is that actually true? I don't think that's actually true.
I think it definitely is true. I think it's going to be
I'm
35-25 is my prediction.
I'm looking this up right now.
It just felt like Tennessee had the ball the whole game.
40 to they had just 32 minutes and 40 seconds compared to the Broncos 27-20.
You're right. It must have been the first half or something.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it was that much, but
And Gordon looked good. I mean, he fumbled the ball, but he looks okay.
Yeah.
Gordon looks okay. Denver, their defense is not good enough to be an elite team this year.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they gave up 16 points. Could have been a few more with a couple mixed kicks, but they didn't they weren't terrible. I think the loss of Bouye in the secondary is going to hurt. Obviously, they don't have Von Miller, but I think
so. Boye is out for how long? 3 weeks.
I don't know. He's on the IR, but I think the IR is different this year. I think.
Yeah.
I don't even know how the IR works anymore. Everyone's on the IR now, but
yeah. Sherman's on the IR.
Yeah, I don't even think the IR is like a real thing this year. I think you can come back in three or 4 weeks if I'm not mistaken.
I know it's just a couple of weeks.
Yeah, Joe Buck was saying something tonight. I couldn't quite understand it, but if that is true, it's not even the IR.
Buck and Aikman tonight on Fox Sports.
Congratulations to Joe Buck getting inducted into the Hall of Fame.
The Sports Hall of Fame?
No, the NFL.
Oh my God!
I think he got inducted.
Do you think it's well deserved?
I'm just gonna say congratulations to him.
Okay.
I don't know. It seems like a lifetime achievement award for his dad.
For Jack. all the pictures were of Jack Buck.
He's Jack Buck's son. If you never knew that, just listen to a few games and you'll find out.
I'll find out. And he doesn't get excited about New York sports.
No,
he doesn't. Maybe St. Louis Cardinals baseball.
Well, he's a Cardinals and Red Sox fan.
His best performance was on that show with
Joe Buck Live.
Joe Buck Live with Artie Lang.
Artie Lang, of course.
That was the best performance of Buck ever. I mean, Artie brought it that whole show, and Tony Romo talk.
Oh yeah, that was something.
No, I wish that could go back. Anyway, so tonight we had, Islanders officially get canceled. The what's it called? The Boston looks like they're canceled. Did you watch any of that tonight?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, a little playoff hockey. This could be the year at Tampa. I think that the Rays are going to win too, so it might just be a crazy sports year.
Could be the year of Tampa, and you get the Rays, the Lightning, and then the Buccaneers.
Oh, Tampa Bay. Tampa looks really old, and I bet that all the fluff pieces of him and Gronk, are probably going to take a back seat this week, right?
Him, Gronk. The one thing I thought was a little bit odd was, and everyone downplays it, but what's it called? Bruce Arians kind of coming for his head week 1. I didn't see all the exact quotes, but it obviously made headlines.
Well, Tom loves that.
Yeah, does he really love it?
He loves coaches that are rough.
Does he really? Because what's his name? Bill Belichick was never really rough with him in the media.
He just said Tom made some poor throws. But the thing about Arians is not Arians doesn't really know he's really on he's not careful with his words. That's why I love Bruce.
No, he's definitely not careful with his words, and
he's a free spirit. The defense actually is going to play pretty well. Rojo looks better than Fournette. That's kind of the big takeaway too.
Yeah, I mean Rojo's also been in the offense all off season, all that.
Yeah, I think that Tampa, you look at this division and Tom, I think he still has a little bit of arm strength now in the pocket, mobility wise. It looked a little bit bad, but as long as Tom's not throwing those out patterns, he'll be fine. I think Tom's going to be fine.
I think we're my biggest issue with Tom Brady is, the arm strength seemed okay, but it's like, even as I said to you on another show, it's, come week 7, week 8, when he's taking some hits and he's not completely fresh, where's that arm strength going to be? Because last year was non-existent. The second half on, basically.
Yeah, I know. I get it. He's going to need to lob in those deep balls, in this Arians offense.
Yeah, and it's like, even last week, he takes like a 4-yard gain, like late in the game, or like in the third quarter takes a big hit. It's like, gotta stop taking these hits, Tom. You know better.
He's got to get it out of his hands.
Yeah.
You're right, and you're expecting him to be Peyton Manning in Denver, and I don't know. At times, I saw the arm strength though in week 1. At times,
throws that I didn't see him making last year at the end of the year, but I think that the arm strength could dwindle as the year goes on.
All right, a couple more hot button issues, and then maybe we'll do our picks. So, do you think that Minshew is here to stay?
Oh, I think he's definitely here to stay. Whether it's the Jags are bad and they draft a quarterback over him, and he just kind of becomes this journeyman. But yeah, Minshew is definitely here to stay in some way, shape, or form. I mean, I think he's very good. Is he a franchise guy? That's it's your definition of franchise. I don't think he's a superstar franchise guy, but I think he can be somebody's quarterback long term, just because he's kind of just good enough. And he'll have these really good games.
And then if he has the defense with him.
Yeah.
The Jags D is bad, though.
What?
The Jags D is not good, though.
No, they're not.
I will say. So the Titans, I'm taking the Jags. I think that number's too high.
What's the number? I'm not looking at
it. It used to be 10, but maybe it's down a little bit. The number for the Jags is 7.5. So actually, the public is riding Jacksonville kind of hard right now.
Let me see.
That might be a good Titans bet.
I probably actually would take the Titans in that one. That's something reeks to me if everybody's that hard on the Jags. The Titans run game, it travels. I thought Tannehill wasn't great. No AJ Brown will hurt them, but it might.
I don't like Tannehill at all.
I'm not. Yeah, I mean, he was good, not great, but I think a physical defensive front and stuff like that. I think this could bother the Jags a little bit.
Yeah. So just kind of going down the list of games. Maybe should we do a little rapid fire picks here, Dave?
Yeah, we can do rapid fire.
Should we go against the spread, or what do you think? Or maybe you have the list in front of you. Should we do a pick 6?
Whatever you want to do. I have everything in front of me.
Let's just for fun. This is just for fun. We're just gonna pick 7 games.
Okay.
All right.
Spread
so I think that I don't know if I want to take that. Well, we'll talk about all the games. We're gonna go through all the games. We got 49ers and Jets. The Niners are 7-point favorites against the New York Jets. Darnold sucked. But the thing is, if you take the Niners, Jimmy G against this pass rush, I could see Jimmy G failing a little bit again. I could, because the Jets are a decent home defense, What do you think?
A lot of points. I'm gonna say that the too many points. I wouldn't actually take this myself, but if there was a gun to my head, I would take the Jets.
Wow. Do you think the Jets could win this game?
Could they win? Obviously, yeah, they could. If I'm telling them they're going to take the 7, I don't think they will, but I think they.
I'll tell you a game. We did talk about Bills Dolphins. That's what I'm thinking about. I think that Green Bay can whoop up on the Detroit Lions. Keep riding the Rodgers and the Packers.
Here's something that is not being talked about a lot. It's like these teams are going to basically be in. What's it called? New York, the 49ers, because of all the COVID protocols and stuff like that, they're basically in the cities for less than 24 hours, Like they're going to get in, afternoon or whatever night of Saturday, and then boom, Sunday, and then they're gone, So 1 p.m. game could be interesting. And then they got to fly right back,
For next week.
Yep.
when they would be in the city for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I heard you and Coach talking about the no fans at this game, and I'm just worried that if you keep on spreading that rhetoric, we might not ever see fans again, Dave. You better be careful with that kind of rhetoric.
What rhetoric?
The rhetoric of the fans don't really matter.
Well, the fans don't matter on TV.
Because I love the ability to go to a game, you know?
But you obviously did not listen to what Coach and I said.
You were talking about how it looked.
Yeah, what I'm saying is the fans in the stands didn't actually affect me watching the game because they weren't showing the fans in the stands.
Well, they showed less of the sideline. I mean, I like a packed house. Well, I like hearing the noise.
Packed house, but I wasn't focused on it. You know, they did a good job of not focusing on it. You know, they pipe in the sound. You know.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
obviously it's not the same thing, but it's it's close to it.
I could say like having the NFL back, like my morale's obviously been a lot higher, you know, like watching the league. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with you.
That things seem to be getting back to normal, and it's amazing that the U.S. Open's on. I couldn't even really watch the U.S. Open today. Or were you similar to in that capacity?
What went on in the U.S. Open?
What?
I have no idea what's gone on in the U.S. Open.
Exactly. And that'll be appointment viewing. But we got, you know, college football is going to kick off next week, the SEC. Like I'm still very excited about that. You know, having the SEC. And then tonight there were a couple fans in the stands, and I think that really helped, though. I really enjoyed that part.
All 6,000 of them.
And they were loud.
Well, they were what's it called? You're getting piped in sound.
All right, fine. We're gonna get to the nitty gritty here. You know what? I'm gonna pick games, Dave, and we're gonna do 7 games, okay? And you'll keep track of the numbers because we're gonna challenge ourselves with hard spreads. All right.
All right, sounds good.
Vikings, Colts. Okay, Colts are -3.
I'll take the Vikings with the 3.
I'm gonna take the Colts. Okay, here's why: because Kirk Cousins on the road. Yeah, or you know, this Colts team at home. I think it's a good start though. Paris Campbell's a good fantasy guy. I think it's a good fantasy game. This game right here. Then we got let's do Washington, Arizona, -6.5 for the Cards.
-6.5 for the Cards. I'm gonna take the Cardinals.
Yep, I agree with that. I agree. I think that the Redskins come back down to earth. I really do. Crashing down.
What's it called?
They're not a good team, the Redskins. I don't think so.
Yep.
You agree with it. It was just 1 week, right?
I agree.
Good. I'm glad you agree. Baltimore and Houston.
What's the spread?
Baltimore's -7. I'm just telling you, I'm taking the Ravens here. I love this game. Dude, the Texans can't stop the run. This should be perfect.
This is a weird game for me. I want to agree with you. I'm going to say the Texans with the 7.
But a chance of winning too?
Yeah, I think that the Texans aren't terrible. I don't think they're great, but game at home, you know.
You know what it could be too? Revenge of getting blasted last year.
Yeah.
Embarrassing game. So you take the Texans. A game I was shocked to hear you take. You took in another podcast, a famous podcast. We'll maybe plug it here on the show. It's a Changing of the Time show. I'm a featured guest with Davey Horns. You can hear us on there. Coach Dash. You took the Raiders to beat the Saints.
Yes.
Straight up.
Yes.
Why?
Something tells me that, you know, what's it called? You open up a stadium, you win a game when you open up the stadium. You open it up, you win the game.
Is that proven, actually?
I have probably no proof to that.
But it's just fun. And Michael Thomas, I drafted Thomas, so that's why he's out. But, you know.
Yeah.
Jacobs has to run that football. Derek Carr's playing well. I want it to happen. I just don't know.
Yeah,
I just don't know.
I just have this weird theory that probably has no statistical backing.
We'll pick that game. I'll also go with you with the Raiders as well.
I'm definitely taking the 6 and the Raiders.
Yeah, we'll go 5.5. I'm getting 5.5.
Okay.
Seattle, New England. -4 for Seattle.
I'll take Seattle for the game. Give me the 4 points in the Patriots.
Cam, this game is a good game. I think it's an overrated game. If I can watch Raiders Saints of this game, what game are you watching?
I'll go watch this game because I have not watched Cam with New England yet. So it will be interesting, at least for me, to get the real look, you know?
I love the Raiders, though.
Oh, you gotta love the Raiders. You know?
I freaking love Chucky, Josh Jacobs, Henry
you.
Ruggs.
I agree with you.
Jonathan Abram. There are a lot. These two teams are boring. I think Seattle and New England.
Yeah, anytime you get to watch Russell Wilson, it's like poetry in motion.
I guess it's true. I guess, but I hate games in Seattle. I hate watching games in Seattle. Can't you understand that?
I agree with you.
I gotcha. All right, to our Giants. We owe the viewers 2 minutes of Giants talk. I think this is a must-win game if you look at the schedule.
I think, yeah. I couldn't agree more.
It's a must-win game in week 2. Come on. If the Giants have any, sorry?
I think the NFL basically is must-win every week.
If the Giants have any pop whatsoever, let's get this W in Chicago, right? If this team's any good, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, I don't think that the Bears are a playoff team. I could be wrong. I don't think they will end up being a playoff team. I think they'll be around 8-8, 9-7, 7-9, somewhere around there. So you gotta get this win. You're 0-1. This is a must-win.
Trubisky,
all that good stuff. Yeah.
Defense got to ball out. Daniel Jones, like we're talking about, he's got to figure out a way to manufacture points.
Without a doubt.
At least Joe Burrow can get you some points. So it's up to Dimes. A lot of Giants fans now love Danny Dimes, and we just got to see what Dimes. But I think the Giants, this defense, I think it's a possibility. So me and Dave, I think we picked a lot of games. You're going to take the Rams. I'm going to take the Eagles.
Yep.
So let's solidify to 7. All right.
Okay.
All right. I'll count this down. You count your picks actually, or I'll count my picks. I got the Steelers. Okay.
Okay.
I'm taking the Ravens. That's 2.
Okay.
Actually, you could look at the board and pick 7. So I've completely messed up our game, unfortunately. But should we pick the same games or 7 locks? Each guy pick 7 locks.
Whatever you want to do.
I'm doing each guy pick 7 locks. Bills, Pittsburgh Steelers, Green Bay Packers, Jaguars, +7.5 for the Jags, -6 for the Packers. I'm going -7.5 for the Steelers. I got 3. I'll take the Niners, the -7, Arizona -6.5, Baltimore -7. And then you give me the Kansas City Chiefs -8.5 against the Chargers. So I'll do those games.
All right. Well, I'll take the Chiefs -8.5. I think looking at it, that might be the best line of the weekend.
With Tyrod.
Tyrod Taylor looked awful. Let me look. I will take the Cardinals with the 6.5. I will go. I will take the Vikings +3. I will take. I will take. Let's look. I'll take the Panthers +8.5. That's 4.
These are looking good.
Yeah, I'm just trying to go through here.
A lot of games, though. So
you're right. There are a lot of games. I'm going to take the Giants +5.5.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 5. I'm going to take the Packers -6.5. And
Oakland? Oakland.
Yeah.
The Raiders, right?
I'll take the Raiders +6. You're right.
Okay, you got it +6.
I forgot the Jets game.
Well, that's it. It's me. It's Davey Longhorns. And you know what, Dave? I think next week will be even better we'll recap a lot of these games like on Tuesday, do our picks.
We'll have real college football coming, and not this schlocky like half slate.
Oh, come on, man. You're not going to watch the Chanticleers tomorrow night?
I am. Don't start with me. I will be watching them versus Campbell.
I love the Chants, and I don't even. Do we even get an ACC game though this week, or there's nothing?
I think we do. So hold on. Don't panic, Spencer.
Big Ten are still cowards, but at least we got Big Ten football.
Syracuse versus Pitt. We've got Duke, North Carolina. We've got. That's not a real true ACC game. That's not a true one. We Saturday night we've got Miami, Louisville.
Right, De'Ara King. But I'm excited to see Chase Bryce versus Sam Howell.
There you go.
I like Chase Bryce. I bet Carolina's like -8, right?
Wait, what are you? No, Chase Bryce versus who?
Sam Howell.
No, they're not playing them.
They're playing Duke, North Carolina.
No, it's Boston College.
Okay. Duke, Boston College. That's right. That Virginia Tech was going to play.
Yeah, but they decided there was too much COVID there. Understandable. And
so De'Ara King, he didn't even look very good. So I think Louisville will win that game.
I don't doubt it.
At the Papa John Center, and
I think they've got that program going the right direction. Manny Cunningham,
new quarterback. Is that who it is?
Yeah, Cunningham. Yeah.
Well, it's Satterfield. They used to have Jawan Pass.
I don't think what's it called. Jawan Pass was the quarterback last year.
Yeah, I mean, and then with SEC, Arkansas. Oh, it's going to be.
Him was the quarterback last year too.
It is going to be the SEC. I can't wait. You got Big Ten, which will be very weird. And Dave, even you were doubting Mountain West. The Mountain West is now coming back.
Oh, good for them. I love the Mountain West. You know that. By
Start.
the way, sneaky take. I think Louisville -2.5 is a good take this weekend.
At home. Oh man, a little college football. It's got to be a good late night game. Let's see. Wow, Coastal Carolina's big favorites. Oh my God, the Baylor Bears. That's exciting. It's Aranda's first game.
Dave Aranda's first game this weekend against Houston, which was just scheduled on Sunday.
Yeah, the Cougs.
Yep. So you gotta love it.
The Cougars with Applewhite, or who is the Cougs? Hold on.
I don't think Applewhite's there.
No, they just got rid of somebody. That'll be a real fun game. Oh my gosh, Syracuse is a -21.5 underdog.
Against who?
Nuts. Against Pittsburgh. Why do people think Pittsburgh's any good?
I think it's just that Syracuse looked really bad.
Oh my God. Seeing the slate. Texas State's the team of the year.
Oh my God. Texas State. You gotta love them.
Oh my God. The Wolfpack versus the Demon Deacons. The UTEP Miners are favored this week.
Who are your UTEP Miners favored over?
Abilene Christian.
Tommy DeVito's hurt. I think you got a different quarterback coming in.
Oh no, that's why.
DeVito.
I'm a DeVito believer.
What?
I'm a DeVito believer.
I love it.
And guess what? This is the ultimate sucker game. UCF Knights are -7.5 against the Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech just had a huge win. So that's kind of surprising.
There you go.
That's a good game to probably go UCF because, hey, and then App State, Marshall, Grant. That'll actually be the game of the week. Grant. You know who his name is, right?
Grant Wells.
There we go. So we got some football to get us through. Dave Longhorns, it's been a blast. It's been fun. Have a great night.